Hello, I'm Conlan O'Mordha, and welcome to the O'Mordha Racing Network. Today's coverage is a GT4 race at Autodromo de Interlagos for 11 laps. Guest commentating today is Pit Stop Tommy. Hopefully a smoother co-host. Say hi, Tommy.
Hey man, great to be here. I love racing. You know, I used to be part of a WC pit crew. Those were the days, man. But then I had a driver crash into the car I was changing a tire on in the pits. Must have thrown me 30 feet, man. It was awesome.
I'm guessing that's when you got your nickname.
Yeah, man. I was really good at pit stops, man.
I see. So, Tom, what would you recommend for a pit stop strategy in this race?
Oh, man, you got till your pit chief calls you in, man.
Great advice, Tommy. On pole position, we have Suzu 21 in the Renault Majon with a time of 138.418. Pretty spread out times here today. Our own Zilrond back in 8th place. He's got a lot of work to do to get to a podium finish today. And the rolling start awaiting to the green flag, and away we go! Suzu 21, I guess that's how you say the name, comes around T1 nice and tidy, keeping his car in there, coming around T2. It's a nice, fast, tight corner. You're easy to get it wrong. Coming around T3 onto the back straight, already building up quite a spread out lead on P2. Now coming into the 90-degree corner, the Lamborghini looks about it's getting a little bit wide right behind our leader. And loses a place to the Dodge Viper. So Infamous 23 taking over from Nibiru 10th. As we're coming into the nice tight technical S's here.
Yeah, man, this is pretty sweet. Suzuki 21's got a great lead, man.
Yes, Tommy, that's quite
the hairpin, man.
Quite the observation there. And Suzu 21 coming around one of the tightest of the corners there in this circuit. Coming up, picking up speed, getting ready for the last corner of the lap.
Oh, it's a doozy too, man. Watch out.
A bit wide there. Still keeps two tires within the track limits.
Almost wide,
and
man.
Up on the main straight now, coming up to the start line. The start lap number 2.
He's got great speed, man. If he just continues mashing on that throttle, bro, he's just gonna take it.
This is 11 laps. 2 of 11 is what we are now on. Takes T1 and T2. Nice, tight and tidy.
Yeah, go Zuzu, man.
This driver's got a lot of experience here at this circuit, winning the past 5 races that he's performed here at this circuit. See him lay down a lap time of 1:44.991 on his first lap. Not a bad lap time for the opening lap.
Yeah, man.
Bureau 10 finally catches back up to Infamous 23 and taking over the position with Charlie Lincoln close on their heels.
He's doing a great job, man.
Have a track position for second.
Yeah, Nibiru the 10th, man. He's doing a pretty good job trying to keep back up and get back up close, man.
Fight going on currently. Zoran's up to 6th place. Still needs to put his head down and make up some ground here. As Nibiru 10th just about loses a place to Infamous 23. Now coming up to one of our fastest corners, and it gets rear-ended from behind by the Dodge Viper, Infamous 23.
Oh, what a doozy.
And Charlie Lincoln just about goes into the Viper.
Oh, man.
After that contact, has to kind of swing around him and takes over the position from Infamous.
That was crazy, man.
So now in P2, we have Charlie Lincoln. Infamous 23 is in P3, and P4 is Nibiru the 10th. Drunken Snake 77 close on to Bureau 10's heels. And unfortunately, because of that contact, the back end of the field there that was slowly trailing up to the higher place leaders.
Susie 21 is just skating away from him, man.
So all the way back to 8th place, is now in contention just about for 2nd place.
Man, this is amazing.
And we have a look here at the replay with Vortex CSS as he goes off there, just misses his break point, goes off and kind of comes back on, and our camera sadly was unable to really follow him.
Man, contact with Infamous.
Come back on nice and smooth. Here we have contact between Nibiru and Infamous 23, causes Nibiru to lose a place to Drunken Snake 77 in the Mitsubishi Lancer, and Infamous just about loses around that corner and somehow manages to keep it and gain a position in the meantime.
Yeah, man, he hit Charlie Lincoln, man. Crashed right into him.
Around the tight technical S's here. Charlie Lincoln going a little bit wide there, keeping his position still.
Oh, here's the Dizzy corner.
And coming up to the Fast 90. Drunken Snake on the inside of Infamous and takes the place, kind of knocking Infamous a little bit into the grass. Taking away a little bit of his momentum, and Charlie Lincoln's coming around him.
Man, you're really excited. You gotta calm down, man.
So P2, Drunken Snake 77. P3, Charlie Lincoln, and Infamous is back into 4th now. And Zilron looking on the outside of Nibiru, the 10th. Can't make it stick, coming up into the tight corners here. Lets him have the inside. And comes back onto the backside of Nibiru with Charlie Lincoln going a little bit wide. Comes back and pushes Zilron. Here we have the replay here, the live race up at the top right.
It just comes down and pushes him, man.
And we see Charlie Lincoln kind of pushes Zilron off there.
I love this shot.
Although no penalty from the race stewards. And Zilron is now down to 7th place. After getting surely rocked on that corner, trying to get back into it. And
man, it's a ping pong ball there.
Nibiru the 10th, who crashes into Infamous due to the result of that. And Drunken Snake 77 now in 2nd place. Infamous 23 in 3rd, trying to close off a move from Nibiru the 10th. Keeping on the inside.
Man, just great driving all the way around, man. But, you know, they got to...
Yes, Tommy, I agree.
Keep it in there, you know. They need to relax.
Zilron trying to put his head down and get back into the contention for 2nd place. Still has a little bit of gap he needs to make up. We have a replay of Nibiru the 10th going a little bit wide here. Doesn't spend too much time in the grass and easily gets back on track. Losing quite the place there. Goes down, drops down to 7th place.
Yeah, that's okay, man. He can make that up.
So we have Drunken Snake 77 as we now start lap 5 in 2nd place. Infamous 23 in 3rd. Zilron now in 4th place makes his move around
Charlie Lincoln. Man, that was a great move.
T1 coming into T2 and manages to keep it. Now on the back straight, coming up to the tight 90-degree left.
One of my favorite corners of this track, man.
And Infamous 23 goes a little bit wide there, and Kaba 281 follows. There. Now on board with our leader here.
Man, he's got such a horrible little lead, man.
Who has a significant and very comfortable lead on the rest of the pack, who is scrambling, trying to catch up and constantly fighting for race position here in our race.
They won't touch him, man. He's too far gone. Unless he has a major wreck, there's no way.
Our fastest lap time is set by our leader on lap 2 with a 1:40.197.
Stupid fast, man.
And as we see this driver, our leader, is completely in control of his vehicle and driving with amazing finesse.
It's like a ballerina out there, man. It's amazing.
You're right, Tommy. He's got amazingly consistent lap times.
That too. That's pretty
Snake
sweet too.
77 coming across, and P2 to start lap 6. I wouldn't be surprised if we see pit stops starting to happen, if they do happen. As we see here, plenty of drivers have plenty of fuel left and plenty of tire life left as well.
Well, it all depends on your strategy, man.
Snake going a little bit wibbly wobbly there, trying to keep Infamous out of his draft there, as Infamous has a little bit of contact with Junk Snake coming around that fast left-hand corner there. Coming up into a little bit of a spoon corner to start the fast, well, they are, I guess, kind of slow technical S's. And Infamous really on his tail, trying to cause a mistake by Drunken Snake. And here we see our last place losing control around T1 and into the guardrail.
What a pity, man.
And Drunk Snake loses the position. Infamous 23, who is now in second. Drunk Snake trying to fight back. Just about goes off track limits there. Pushes Infamous 23, and they both go into the grass, losing all of their momentum and plenty of time. Zilron now moves into second place, who's still a far cry away from our leader,
sweet.
but a great move from Zilron to just bide his patience and continuing to put his head down and keeping it nice, clean, and tidy. As we now start lap 7 in this 11-lap race.
Man, you got so excited there.
Coming around T1 here with Charlie Lincoln and Kaba 281 closing and nipping on his heels here. It's still anyone's game for second place.
He's wearing on his tires too much though, man. Gotta.
You know, Tommy, I think this is one of my favorite shots here of this circuit.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Is that back straight there where they kind of get the drone and just about match the speed. I'm not sure if we're using a drone or if we just have one amazingly quick camera that follows along on that back straight. And approaching the spoon corner leading into the technical S.
Oh, man. Gnarly.
Charlie Lincoln going a little bit wide there with Kaba trailing him here. And we have the replay, 2 of them, because 2 drivers going off the track at just about the same time, getting dirty air and following the Jaguar off.
It doesn't have the tires, man.
Managing to both of them get back cleanly onto the track, not losing too much track position. Still on board with Zilrond here as he's trying to keep Charlie Lincoln and Kaba 281 at bay here and maintain second place, but they are closing, even though they're still battling a little bit. Looks like Kaba gave Charlie Lincoln a little bit of a push there, coming into the back of Zilron and closing the gap by quite a bit, even though Charlie Lincoln got a half-second penalty from the stewards, kind of cutting the track there. Lap 8 into T1 now with our challenge for second place going on as Kaba is all over the rear bumper of Zilrond. Zilrond taking the inside corner. Kaba real close behind as we now have, it looks like Tyler, the Jaguar, in the pits up on the top right there. As we're around the fast 90-degree left, coming up to the spoon corner to start the technical S's. Zilron having to protect on the inside. Defending here, Kaba 281 trying to steal second place.
He's just gonna take it, man. There's no way he's gonna hold it with his tires just wearing like that.
Zilron manages to defend rather well, coming in.
It's gotta here.
To the hairpin. Just about have contact between Kaba 281 and Zilron, and Kaba takes the position away. Great driving, nice clean driving by both drivers there. Zilron trying to get back into contention, but Kaba is now just driving
He
away.
doesn't have the tires, man.
Zoran is now challenged by Charlie Lincoln for third place. And Kaba is amazingly taking off, and with nothing but open, clean air in front, is able to get out and get away from contenders for second place. Here we have coming up to T1. T1 is pretty technical into T2 and then 3. And Charlie Lincoln goes into the back of Zilron in T1. Zilron having to go off track to maintain control of his vehicle. The stewards are allowing it, not having a penalty. Charlie Lincoln does get one. And we're coming out the back straight. The back straight.
You gotta
now.
slow down.
Top of 281, second place. Nice and tidy. Zilron following about almost a second behind now. Charlie Lincoln going a little bit wide there. Just about catches a little bit of a drift on that after turf. Zilron still being chased after for P3.
Pizza, man.
Here we have another pit stop in the top right.
Like, we ordered some pizza?
Zilron trying to chase down Kaba 281
Sweet.
to no avail. Kaba 281 is doing a great job laying out clean laps. Very fast laps at that.
Alright, what'd I miss? Oh, we got somebody coming out of the pit?
Charlie Lincoln and Nibiru the 10th in extreme competition with each other, rubbing doors as they're coming through those technical S's. And Charlie Lincoln on the back of Nibiru the 10th, just about riding his bumper around that corner there. Zilron keeping it rather smooth, trying to gain a gap to Nibiru the 10th, but looks like his tire wear is getting the better of him here. And with 2 laps to go, we'll see how this plays out for him. Nibiru the 10th coming on the inside of Zilron, has a little bit of contact there, just about knocking Zilron off course. Comes into the back of him on T2, and don't know how Zilron kept him in control right there.
Great driving.
Now on the back straight. Charlie Lincoln and Nibiru the 10th. Nibiru the 10th, rather, is just within the slipstream of Zilron here. Drunk Snake 77 back into 5th place, trying to get back into contention for 3rd, trying to get as high position as he can. And Nibiru the 10th missing his brake line twice now, comes into the back of Zilron twice there. Not sure why we're not seeing any track officials doing anything about this. Zilron defending on the inside into the hairpin. Having to take these corners a little bit slower because of the deterioration of his front tires.
I needed to pit a while ago, man. Now we're on 10th
Now
lap.
it's just the last... Oh, we had Nibiru the 10th going right into the back of Zilron here, as we see there.
Oh, that was gnarly.
Slamming Zilron into the wall there.
Man, that's a tough break,
Takes away
man.
3rd place and just causes a horrible lack of time between both vehicles. Both cars and drivers and teams, I'm sure, highly disappointed and aggravated by the move. Zilron trying to get back the place that was stolen. He's now on the back of Drunk Snake 77, trying to utilize the slipstream to kind of slingshot around him, and goes for the move here. And Drunk Snake pushing Zilron just about off the course there. Even though he had a half-second penalty, Zilron's going to take the position, and Drunk Snake pushing and almost causing a collision, and the stewards don't do anything about it.
That's dirty driving.
Now on board with our
Man,
leader.
this guy is wicked fast.
Still with amazingly
so far up there.
close lap times and consistent throughout. Doing great on tire wear. That's the nice thing about these
Renaults? Yeah, man.
Renault
Majan, man.
Majan, I believe is how they're pronounced.
Renault
They
Majan,
are
man.
amazingly efficient with their fuel consumption and amazingly efficient with their tire wear. And now we see Kaba coming around the last corner of the lap, going a little bit wide, keeping it under control. However, looks like he's struggling a little bit with front tire wear and coming up to start his last lap.
This is the last lap, man. He's coming to the finish.
Sorry, that's the final lap. So Suzuzu 21 comes across first place. Kala 281, second place. Drunk Snake 77 comes across P3. Nibiru the 10th and P4. Infamous 23 and P4. Looks like we had a penalty. And Charlie Lincoln comes across in 6th. Zilron in 7th. Von Dupin in 8th place. Carlos Mand Jr. in 9th. Tyler 19931 was in 10th. We had Slayer Inc. 53 and 11th. Fuelman 54 and 12th. And Majrino JB in 13th. And in 14th, we had Andrews. Thank you for coming on the show today, Pit Stop Tommy. It was great to have you.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. It was great being here. What a delight, man. Oh, we should totally do this again, man.
And thanks for tuning in and watching another of our broadcasts. Again, this was O'Mordha Racing Network. Thanks for tuning in.